Start with the footy in general. Joey, I heard you say during the week it's been the best final series we've potentially ever seen, but do you think all round it's just been the best year, given the unpredictability of the comp and even within a game, like one half to another, you couldn't pick it?
What tells us is the ratings. The ratings are up 30% in the semi-finals for Channel 9, live and free, exclusive, and attendance at grounds. That's sellouts all across stadiums. I think the Newcastle Knights sold out every game. So it's been incredible. Look at the images there, the Broncos, every team. I think the Raiders had a hit the sellouts. The game's flying.
Yeah. The structure of our game has allowed our stars to shine as well. You see a lot of the big moments in our game are left for our stars, and that's because of the structure, the 6 again rule, the flow of the game, the ball in play time is incredible, and that's equated to some of these golden point thrillers that we've seen throughout the year, in particular in the semi-finals.
What about some of the contract dramas, I guess you could say? That's been another storyline, aside from the footy. I mean, this one will certainly be etched in rugby league folklore forever, but there was Dylan Brown, so that was the start of the season, the biggest contract in NRL history, heading to the Newcastle Knights. Then there was Daly Cherry Evans. This one got announced essentially live on 100%
He broke the news on
footy.
100% footy. It was amazing.
And
he
then
still hasn't made his decision.
There was drama back and forth.
We still don't know where he's going.
And Lockie Galvin, the most talked about player, you could say, over the last couple of years. And given the attention that he got, Freddie, I mean, for a young kid, he handled himself very well, didn't he?
Yeah, the month leading into before he left, then there was sort of reports about the players, there was social media posts, there was all sorts of things going on, and we just couldn't imagine it. Like, as a player from the past, how personal that all got was quite amazing, but he handled it incredibly. And I think Canterbury, through that period, you know, what they did with Reid Marnie, Toby Sexton, like, really made some huge decisions and just had everyone talking, not only for a couple of months, for a couple of months during that period. So they put a lot of pressure on their club.
Well, it was talked about in the newspapers, on all of the shows, and 100% footy. So let's relive one moment in particular.
What I don't like is being sit here with a bloke like you.
Tell me.
Questioning my credibility.
I'm not questioning your credibility.
You are.
No, I'm
you
not.
said I misled the public. You said I misled you. I misled no one. Okay. Mind your words, son.
What was that like for you? I would have loved to have just a camera on you and Brace.
It was awkward. Well, have you seen that meme or that vision of Homer Simpson, how he disappears into the bush? That was Bracey. He absolutely filled his pants up, I'm telling you. He sat back like that and was doodling on the thing, and I was on the end of it, is this actually happening? I tried to break it up a little bit and just try to ask a random question, but it was great to sit there and watch it.
Who do you reckon went and sting?
Gus.
Because they punched on.
Every day of the week.
Do you reckon Gus?
I'm backing Gus.
Yeah, I'm backing Gus.
Righto.
I'm
top
backing
dog.
Gus for sure.
Yeah.
How's he going, Freddie? Gus. He's had a couple of health scares.
He was a bit crook last week. Had a bit of a turn. He was in hospital for most of the week. But he'll be here today.
Yeah,
he wouldn't miss grand finals, so he'll be here today.
I think he's calling the interstate game.
He is.
Yeah. He wouldn't miss
yourself.
it. No.
Can't wait to see you, Gus. And just to finish off with, a moment that will be forever etched in rugby league folklore. In camp for Origin 3, Cameron Munster got the tragic news that his father Stephen had passed away. Courageously was able to firstly just get out on the field, but help steer Queensland to a series victory. And there was a really emotional moment between yourself and Cam after the match, and it was one of the most inspirational things that we have ever seen.
Absolutely inspirational, brave, courageous, all of the above. And look, to be honest, he probably hasn't really sat back and soaked in what's been the last 3 or 4 months. It was a huge occasion for him. Look, I know Cam's dad, Steve, would be proud of what his boy has achieved, but to go out and do that for Queensland with all the adversity that he was facing, that'll be a huge moment in Cam's career. He'll look back on this and have fond memories of his old man, and in particular that game that he played.
Just quickly, Bill, where does that rank in your footy career, coaching that team?
Yeah, no, it's right up there. Look, I've had some great memories over the last 4 years with this footy team, but what they did, what they turned around, and in adversity and looking after your mate like they did with Cam, and not forget what Cam did in Perth. What he did in Perth over in Game 2, that was the last time his dad saw him play for Queensland, and that was the first time he was the captain. So, yeah, no, it's right up there, Joey.
I reckon in Origin history or folklore, it's one of the great victories, really. Because if you listen to all the expert comments during that series, after the first game loss for Queensland, they were written off.
It's 100%.
They were written off. There was no chance and no way that Queensland could win. They had to go over to Perth, win away from home, and then come up and win that famous game in Game 3 with everything that was happening, particularly with their skipper. The way they stood up and really supported each other and played for their state was just incredible.
After that series victory, they were incredible. Yeah, Bill?
Well, it's incredible to think that, some of those teammates that stood by Cameron on that occasion will be
Opposite
playing
him.
against
Great
him
That's
point.
right.
here today. So that's the mate versus mate, state versus state for sure.
Queensland was going absolutely crazy after that series victory.